It might sound counterintuitive, but walking could be dragging you down faster than aging itself. If you're over 70 and still believe that doing laps around the park each morning is enough to keep you healthy, you're living in a comfortable and dangerous illusion. The truth is, walking is not enough. Not anymore. And if that's the only thing you're doing to stay in shape, you're letting your body slip into a slow, steady decline. When you were younger, walking might have been a decent way to stay moving. But after 70, the rules change. Your body doesn't just need movement, it needs stimulation. It needs challenge. It needs the right kind of stress to stay strong. Because after 70, you're not just battling aging, you're fighting muscle loss. A process called sarcopenia. You might not see it, you might not feel it clearly, but it's happening every single day. And as your muscle mass fades, everything else goes with it. Balance, reflexes, stability, even your ability to stand up after a stumble. Walking doesn't provide the resistance your body needs to hold on to muscle. It doesn't apply enough load to force your system to adapt, grow stronger. In fact, if you walk too much without any supplemental training, you might end up with joint pain, knee issues, or worse, a fall. And at this age, a fall isn't just a setback. It can be a slow death sentence. That's the dark side no one tells you about. Because walking is easy to do, easy to see, and easy to applaud. But easy doesn't mean effective. And if you're choosing easy because it helps you feel like you're still trying, be careful. You're lying to yourself. If this is your first time visiting the channel, hit subscribe and like so you don't miss out on exciting upcoming content. I'm not saying stop walking, but if you don't add other forms of movement, things that build muscle, improve balance, and correct posture, then walking alone is just maintenance at best. It creates the illusion of effort while your body can use to slide downhill. And you won't realize it until it's too late. A fall, a moment where you can't stand up, a lingering pain that won't go away. That's when reality shows up. You have two choices. Keep repeating the same routine and hope it'll be enough, or face the facts and make a change. Don't wait for a doctor to tell you this. Don't wait until you're gripping the railing just to get out of a chair. Don't assume that just because you can still walk, you're still healthy. True health isn't in the step count. It's in your body's ability to resist decline, and walking can't do that on its own. After 70, your muscles don't just stay by themselves. They disappear, little by little, no matter how well you eat or how far you walk. This condition has a name, sarcopenia, age-related muscle loss. But the name matters less than the consequence. You become weaker, slower to react, less balanced, and a single fall could leave you in bed permanently. The problem is, you won't feel it until it's already too late. The scariest thing about muscle loss isn't the number going down on some fancy device. It's that feeling. You no longer feel confident stepping quickly, lifting a heavy bag becomes a struggle, and standing up from a chair without pushing off your arms feels almost impossible. And the irony? Most older adults still believe walking is enough. It's not. Walking doesn't apply enough load to preserve muscle. It's movement, but it's not training. Your body needs resistance. It needs to push against gravity. It needs challenge if you want your muscle to stay alive. You don't need a gym. You don't need heavy weights. What you need is discipline and consistency with simple but powerful movements. Bodyweight squats, lifting water bottles around the house, using resistance bands. These aren't glamorous, they're not trendy, but if you do them right, they help you do the most important thing of all. Keep control over your own life. Picture two 75-year-old men. One can carry a pot of water, open doors, and stand tall without trembling. The other trembles holding a cup, needs help walking, and lives dependent on pills. Both are alive, but only one is really living. What's the difference? One waited for his body to decline. The other fights back every day with strength training. No miracle, just choice. You can start today. Stand up from a chair 10 times without using your hands. Add just a little resistance to your movements every day. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to push back. Men don't lose strength because of age. They lose it because they stop fighting. And your body, like any battlefield, will surrender the moment you stop resisting. Are you over 70? Good. That means it's not too late, but if you don't act now, your body will make the choice for you, and it always chooses the path of least resistance. Rapid aging, collapse, dependency. No one prepares for the first fall, but that first fall can be the beginning of the end. One slip, one missed stair step, one fall in the bathroom, and suddenly everything changes. No more freedom to move, no more confidence to go outside, and for many, no more hope. This happens to thousands of older adults every single day, not because they're weak, not because they're careless, but because they've lost their balance, and no one told them it was happening. Walking, no matter how regularly, doesn't train your balance. It's movement in a single, predictable direction. But real life demands more. Standing on one foot, shifting weight mid-motion, reacting quickly when you're thrown off balance. Those skills don't come from taking steps. They come from specialized training. When you're young, your brain and nervous system react quickly. As you age, you lose muscle and your signal speed slows down. That means every movement takes more effort. Staying upright, keeping your center of gravity, or recovering from a stumble now becomes a skill. And that skill needs to be trained, or it fades. Try standing on one foot for 30 seconds. Walk heel to toe in a straight line. Close your eyes and gently turn your head while standing still. These may seem simple, but they're anything but easy. They retrain your brain to respond to imbalance, just like a car's automatic stabilization system. If that system fails, you can't drive safely. Same with your body. Older adults don't fall because they walk too fast. They fall because they can no longer adjust when their body goes off-center. And the brutal truth is, a single fall can take away more from you than a year of training can recover. You can't control every surface you walk on, but you can control your body's ability to stay upright. And you need to start now, before your body stops responding. If you're living in the mindset of, I'm still walking, I'm fine, that's when you're most vulnerable. Because balance isn't something you notice when you have it. It's something you only realize is gone after you fall. Want to keep your independence, your freedom, and your dignity as you age? Start with the most basic thing. Standing firmly on your own 2 feet. Old age doesn't kill you all at once. It does it slowly, by locking up each joint, shortening every movement, stiffening your ligaments until you can no longer twist your body, bend down, or raise your arms above your head. And the scary part is, most people accept that as a natural part of aging. They call it getting old. But getting old doesn't mean you have to become stiff. Aging doesn't mean giving up smooth, fluid movement. In reality, most joint stiffness isn't caused by age, it's caused by a lack of proper movement. You stop rotating your neck so it stiffens. You stop stretching your arms overhead so your shoulders close in. You stop lifting your knees high so your steps get shorter. And then you blame age when the real culprit is the sedentary lifestyle you've allowed. Walking won't improve your flexibility. It simply repeats a narrow, simple range of motion. It doesn't activate the full range your body needs to stay mobile. And when you lose flexibility, you lose more than you think. Your circulation worsens, your posture collapses, your pain increases. A back that can't straighten up becomes a symbol of a life that's slowly curling in on itself. Flexibility isn't for athletes. It's for anyone who wants to tie their own shoes, reach the top shelf, or sit down and stand up without feeling like they're lifting weights. And the good news is, you can get it back if you're willing to train for it. Start with simple but essential movements. Gently rotate your neck every morning. Roll your shoulders 10 times each afternoon. Pull your knees toward your chest a few times throughout the day. Circle your ankles before getting out of bed. Each move takes just minutes, but the impact on your daily life is huge. It improves circulation, loosens muscles, expands your range of motion, and, most importantly, preserves your independence. A stiff body isn't just a sign of age, it's a sign of surrender. But when you decide to soften those joints again, to stretch out those muscles, that's when you start taking your control back. Flexibility doesn't come from luck, it comes from will. And if you're reading this with a hunched back, tight neck, and heavy shoulders, it's not because you're old, it's because you've allowed it to happen. Start now. You don't have to move like a dancer. You just need to be flexible enough to live without dependence. Flexible enough to bend down without feeling like you're breaking apart. You might never have thought about your abs when it comes to senior health. But let me be clear, if your core is weak, you're not just at risk for back pain. You're taking steps toward collapse. The core, the center of your body, isn't just about having visible abs. It's a stabilizing system that keeps you upright, breathing correctly, digesting efficiently, and able to bend over without folding in half. If your core is weak, your back hunches, your breathing becomes shallow, your posture shifts off balance, and you begin to feel a dull, persistent pain from your lower back to your hips. Worse, you lose control over your own movement, and when that happens, you lose independence. Many people think walking is a full-body exercise, but in reality, walking largely skips the core. You don't brace your abs while you walk. You don't engage your hips. You're just repeating a familiar motion your body has done millions of times, and that doesn't build new strength. Walking won't strengthen your core just because you loop the block every morning. Now look at your posture when sitting. Slouched back, relaxed belly, rounded shoulders. That's the posture of a body that's gotten used to giving up. And if you keep living in that shape, every year that passes brings you closer to a wheelchair, to a caregiver, to the pitying glances of your children. But here's the good news. The core is one of the few muscle groups you can improve at any age, with no equipment and no fancy space. Lean your back against a wall for a few minutes a day. Practice deep breathing and bracing your abs while watching TV. Gently tilt your pelvis to activate your lower core. Every small movement is a step toward reclaiming your posture, your stride, your presence, the presence of someone who once stood tall against life's storms. Posture isn't just about how you look, it's body language. A man standing tall, shoulders open, core engaged, that's the image of clarity, inner strength, and someone who refuses to fold. But a hunched back, drooping head, loose belly, that's not age. That's the result of neglect. Don't wait for your doctor to tell you to strengthen your abs. Don't wait for the moment you can't get out of bed without pushing yourself up. Don't lose what you can absolutely preserve. If you're just a little more disciplined each day, the core is your center. And when the center is weak, everything else around it falls apart. There's a harsh paradox most older adults never realize. The more you walk, the more your knees hurt. The more you think you're moving for your health, the faster your hips deteriorate. And every step you take with pride might actually be wearing down what little strength your legs have left. Age doesn't spare your joint cartilage, it wears away year by year. And if you keep pounding on it with the wrong kinds of movement, even with good intentions, you'll soon find yourself unable to walk at all. Walking too much, especially on hard surfaces like concrete, can lead to knee inflammation, hip pain, and foot discomfort. Not because you're old, but because you're doing the right thing the wrong way. Your 70-plus body doesn't absorb impact the way your 30-year-old body did. But that doesn't mean you should sit still. It just means you need to move smarter. Instead of forcing yourself to reach 5,000 steps a day, like it's some holy grail, start thinking about movement in a gentler, more effective, less destructive way. Light swimming is one of the best forms of exercise for seniors. Zero gravity, no joint pressure, and full body engagement. Slow biking, especially on a stationary bike, is another great option for boosting circulation without damaging your joints. If you want something gentle with a mental focus, try Tai Chi. Not just a sport, but a discipline that restores harmony in both body and mind. Even if you can only sit, don't assume you're out of options. Chair stretches, light seated movements, leg lifts, and simple joint rotations can make a big difference if you do them consistently. The issue isn't how much you can do, it's whether you're still doing anything at all. Most importantly, stop hurting yourself every day and calling it effort. Moving the wrong way isn't sacrifice, it's ignorance disguised as willpower. You don't need to prove to anyone that you're still strong. You need to act smart so you can remain independent. Endurance isn't about tolerating pain, It's about preserving your body so it stays with you for years to come. Joints don't regenerate, but you can stop them from getting worse if you act now. That starts today, by stopping, reevaluating, and choosing a less destructive but smarter path forward. Age isn't a death sentence, but indifference toward your body is. After 70, walking is no longer enough, and if you're clinging to it like it's your only shield, you're living in a comforting illusion. Senior health doesn't happen on its own. It's the result of conscious choices. Choices to maintain muscle, balance, mobility, posture, and most importantly, awareness in how you move. Every smart exercise, every mindful movement is a declaration, I haven't given up. You can start today. You don't need to do a lot. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to stop abandoning yourself. Living long means nothing if you spend your years in pain, dependence, and helplessness. Choose to live with strength, with posture, with purpose. 70 isn't the end. It can be the beginning if you're willing to stand up, move the right way, and train not to be dragged down by life. Thank you for being here. If you found this video helpful, subscribe, turn on notifications, and like this video. Don't forget to leave a comment so we can spread positivity together.